you gotta remind yourself, these prosthetics is cool, man. Like these prosthetics is cool. You know what I'm saying? These prosthetics are dope. These prosthetics is like, hey everyone, welcome to Dom Aesthetics. My name is Dominic. I go by Dom, and today I will be covering the topic of anxiety as an amputee. So when I first became an amputee and I was in a wheelchair and I came home for the first time from the hospital, I was pretty excited about leaving the facility. I was pretty excited about being back at home, and I was just pretty excited about being back in the world. But getting back into the world with no legs also came with new audiences and different types of looks and things of that nature. So as I started to get back into the realm of getting back into my everyday life, I started to notice a difference in how people looked at me. But of course, people are gonna look at me differently because I don't have any legs. So being in the wheelchair, I had to basically teach myself and let myself know, like, hey, now that you don't have legs, you're gonna get more looks from people. People are gonna be looking at you differently. And more specifically, not just everyone, but more in particular, little kids. When I would go to like my little cousin's basketball games or little events, things like that at school, I would notice that, kids would look. And of course, it's a child. They don't know any better. And they're just curious as to, hey, that guy's in a wheelchair. He doesn't have legs. So I became a little self-conscious, a little insecure. I would say a lot insecure, but just a little bit, like always getting looks or having kids look at me and running and pointing to their parents like, that guy doesn't have any legs. So it took me a while, a couple months actually, to accept the fact that I didn't have legs and just accept the stares and to not become self-conscious and insecure about people looking at me, because I looked at it as a negative thing versus a positive thing. And I know people may think like, why could you look at that as something positive? People staring at you, people looking at your legs. Well, as time progressed and I started to realize that I can use that as an opportunity to speak to people, to talk to people, to get to know other people, whether it be kids, whether it be adults or whatever, and to not only educate them on being an amputee in a chair doesn't mean that you're paralyzed or that you can't move or you can't get around, and to educate them on the fact that, yeah, I'm in a wheelchair, but that doesn't mean I'm paralyzed and I can't get around. I just have an amputation and I just haven't got to the point where I can use my prosthetics yet. So I had to basically teach myself mentally that, hey, it's okay you're getting these looks. It's okay people are looking. You do look different. You're not the average human being standing up on their legs and walking. You're in a wheelchair and your legs are amputated. So I really had to sit down and do some soul searching to myself and just tell myself, you gotta be confident in yourself, confident in going places. And as time progressed, the more I hung out with my friends, the more that I was with my family, I was able to basically get used to the looks, get used to people staring, and just be happy with who I was and be proud. And of course, it wasn't something that I was able to do from the beginning, but it's something that you will learn as you continue to grow, and it takes time. So I would definitely say one of the main things that you have to do as an amputee, if you're still in a wheelchair, or if you're not, even if you're not in a wheelchair, even if you're in your prosthetic legs, is to be out in the world. Like, get out, let people stare at you, let people look at you, let people ask questions, because the only way you're gonna get used to that environment and get used to the real world again is to actually be in it. Don't keep yourself at home, locked away in your room, not doing anything, not seeing the world because you're afraid of people looking at you or you're insecure about certain things. You got to be secure in yourself, be confident in yourself, and just get back out there and just get used to it. And now that I'm back in the real world and I wear my stubbies, I wear my prosthetics. I don't use a wheelchair anymore, but I'm proud. Like, I'm happy. Like, the better I get at using my legs, and the more confident that I get in myself at being in them, the less I look at people looking at me, because I'm confident in myself, I'm confident in my abilities, I'm not afraid of people looking at me. And I actually, now when people come up to me, they ask me questions, I actually like speak about it proudly. I don't like get all sad or, be like, why are you asking me questions, or get offended. I'm actually just like, hey, I'm more outgoing about it. I don't mind if someone comes up to me and say, hey, you don't have it to your legs. Or, hey, you don't have any legs, if a little kid comes up now, like a little kid comes up like, hey, Now if a little kid comes up to me, I'll be like, hey, you want to touch them? Like, you want to touch my legs or whatever? So it's just, of course, I struggled with the stares and people looking at me, but what I've learned is you have to put yourself back in the environment so you can get used to that, and then you'll build your confidence, and then you won't be as self-conscious about people looking at you. And then eventually you'll just be like, this is my life, this is what I have to deal with for the rest of my life, and I can't be worried about what everyone else is thinking about me all the time, and you'll just go out and just live your everyday life. So that was a big part of the anxiety that I had, was getting stares from other people. And another piece of anxiety that I was having myself was just thinking about things in life that I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do. For instance, if I want to have kids one day, how am I going to walk around with my kids? Or if I want to drive, how am I going to drive? Or if I want to do certain things in life that I felt like I wasn't going to be able to do, how am I going to get back to those things? And one of the big ways for you to lose anxiety about thoughts and things you think you can't do is to talk to other amputees, or talk to other people that are in the same position as you, the same physical disability as you, because it's hard. It's hard to be the only person, or to feel like you're the only person in the world that has this issue. Because for a while, me personally, I felt like, wow, I'm in this by myself. What am I gonna do? I don't have anyone to talk to. I don't have anyone to go and ask questions to. And thankfully, and I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for social media, because you can get on social media, you can look stuff up, and you can go and I can DM people on Instagram, I can message people on Facebook. There's these different organizations you can join, these different groups on Facebook you can join, and I'm actually fortunate enough to be able to have traveled out to Duncan, Oklahoma this past April to actually meet a group of amputees who have the same amputation as me. And now it's just like, to me, it's like a brotherhood now. I have these men that I will be able to reach out to for the rest of my life, ask questions to, ask them how they get through certain hurdles, ask them how they get through their anxiety. And that's part of the reason why I created this YouTube channel, was so that people can come to my channel, say, hey, this guy has an amputation, how does he deal with things? And then I'm able to share my story and give you all some feedback on the things that I deal with, and then how I actually deal with those issues. So that was one of the goals of this YouTube channel, and I hope that I can continue to just breathe life and just explain the things that I go through, and just maybe help, just even if it's one person, just be able to help someone to get through anxiety they may have, the struggle of people looking at them in public, questions they may have that are unknown, they can't find on Google, they can't find anywhere else. Just just be a resource to people. And anxiety is something huge. It can lead to depression. I guess anxiety could be a form of depression, and I think that it's very important for you to reach out and to get connected to someone, a fellow amputee, someone that is also experiencing the things you experienced or already been through it, and they can show you how to get through it as well. So please, please, please do not go through your amputation alone. Reach out, ask people questions, and just get back into the world, because you're not gonna get over certain things if you don't just jump back into it. And I know it takes time, but it's definitely something that's important that you have to do. And I would also say that make sure that you stay confident in yourself, because you're here in this world for a purpose. You're still alive, no matter how you got your amputation, no matter what happened, was it a tragic accident, whether it was from health issues, whether it was something that just happened and you couldn't control it, or maybe you could control it. Whatever reason for your amputation, you're still alive today, and you're here for a reason. And just keep reminding yourself that, hey, even though I had this amputation and I may feel like I'm disabled, I'm just as able-bodied as someone who has all their limbs. All I have to do is figure out a way. There's always a way to figure out how to do the things that you did before. So I hope this message hits you. I hope this message touched someone and just lets them know that you're not alone. And I felt like this video was important because when I was in the hospital, when I was getting back into the real world, I didn't feel like I had the resources or the tools, or didn't know where to go to hear other people's life stories. So basically, so hopefully this will touch someone, and then you also go and tell your story to help the next person. Let's just help each other on the way. That's it for this video. I appreciate you all for watching, and please, 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 if you don't have anyone to talk to as an amputee, please go out and find a fellow amputee. More than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. I'll see you all next time. Peace.